Imagine standing in a peaceful forest, birds chirping, snow on the mountains, everything calm. And then, boom! An entire side of a mountain explodes. Not erupts, explodes. In just minutes, forests flatten for miles. Ash turns day into night, and the largest landslide in recorded history begins. This is the story of the day Mount St. Helens destroyed itself. On May 18, 1980, the quiet forests of Washington state became the site of one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in U.S. history. The blast released energy equal to hundreds of atomic bombs. But the terrifying part, scientists knew something was coming, they just didn't know when or how big it would be. It started 2 months earlier, March 20th, 1980. A 4.2 magnitude earthquake shook the area near Mount St. Helens, then another, and another. Within days, the mountain began to rumble constantly. Steam explosions blasted craters into the snow-covered summit. Scientists rushed to the site. Something huge was building beneath the mountain. Magma was rising, pressure was growing, and the north side of the mountain began to bulge outward. 210, 300. The bulge. Footage. Diagrams showing mountain swelling. Narrator. By April, the entire side of the volcano was swelling like a balloon. The north flank of Mount St. Helens was expanding 5 feet per day. Imagine a mountain growing before your eyes. Geologists realized what this meant. Magma was pushing upward, and if that pressure released, it could be catastrophic. Authorities closed areas around the volcano, but many people ignored the warnings. Some believed the eruption would never happen. Others simply wanted to see history up close. One man refused to leave. Harry R. Truman, owner of the Spirit Lake Lodge, became famous for saying, "I don't have any idea whether it will blow, but I don't believe it to the point that I'm going to pack up." He stayed. The mountain kept swelling, and the pressure kept building. May 18th, 1980, 8:32 in the morning. The sky was clear. Everything seemed quiet. Then, the mountain shook with a 5.1 magnitude earthquake. And that's when everything changed. The entire north side of Mount St. Helens collapsed. Not a small landslide. The largest landslide ever recorded in human history. Millions of tons of rock slid away from the volcano, and suddenly, the pressure inside the mountain was released. What happened next stunned scientists. Instead of erupting straight up, the volcano exploded sideways. A massive lateral blast shot out of the mountain at over 300 miles per hour. A superheated cloud of gas, rock, and ash raced across the landscape. Everything in its path was destroyed. Entire forests were flattened instantly. Trees snapped like toothpicks. Animals had no chance. The blast zone covered 230 square miles. Meanwhile, ash blasted 15 miles into the sky. Within hours, darkness spread across the region. Cities hundreds of miles away were buried in volcanic ash. In places like Spokane, daylight turned into night. Cars stopped. Airports shut down. Breathing became difficult. Ash eventually fell across 11 U.S. states. Some of it even circled the entire planet. When the eruption finally settled, the destruction was staggering. 57 people lost their lives. Thousands of animals were killed. Over 200 homes were destroyed. 185 miles of highways were wiped out, and more than 4 billion board feet of timber were flattened. The landscape looked like another planet. A once beautiful mountain now had a massive crater where its peak once stood. But something amazing happened next. Nature began to recover. Plants slowly returned. Animals followed. Lakes formed. Forests began growing again. Today, the blast zone has become one of the most fascinating natural laboratories on Earth. Scientists continue to study how ecosystems rebuild after catastrophe. Mount St. Helens is still active today, and scientists continue to monitor it carefully, because deep beneath the mountain, the forces that caused the 1980 eruption still exist. Silent, waiting, and reminding us that sometimes the most peaceful places on Earth hide the most explosive secrets.